Hello everyone, welcome to Hack The Dino, gaming's past, present and future, where we bring you the previews, the news and the discussions about all things gaming. I was born into the darkness, you simply learned from it, or however the stupid quote goes, Ben Rosenthal, and I'm vaginaed by Floppy Starrick. Floppy, tell us about your big old vagina.
Hello, I'm busy, there's Branko's bats everywhere.
Floppy's shooting stuff out of his vagina. Anto, unlike Floppy, you don't have a vagina, but a large hog. Tell us about your big old hog.
I mean, I've only heard rumours of my personally overly large hog.
Really? Then how you been urinating all these years?
Through his butt.
Probably a pulley system, an advanced pulley system that you have to sort of wrangle like some kind of giant anaconda.
Yeah, I've got like a trebuchet-style weight system going in my bathroom.
Because of the girth and length, you can load it up in the trebuchet from the comfort of your own bed and just go, like a fishing line. Bloop. And then you just relieve yourself and then reel it back in. And just roll it up and put it back in the compartment.
So this intro went places that I didn't think it was gonna.
What are we talking about today?
Well, we're talking about PlayStation 3 stuff, but because it's very Sony and PlayStation heavy, I did just want to start this episode of Hack the Dino Gaming Cast by sharing with you this nice little gold cartridge I've got in my hand that I picked up in the off week. Now, Floppy.
Yes, mate.
Can you tell me what game this is?
That would be The Legend of Zelda.
Right, correct. And it looks pretty nice. It's pretty gold, yeah?
It does look very gold.
What if I told you there was something very, very special about this?
Oh, is this one of those things that's the number of screws on the back of the cartridge?
It is indeed. This little baby here has 5 screws.
Now, what was the significance?
The significance is it's the first print run. So Nintendo, when they first released the NES, a couple of the games, well, a range of their games that first came out with the system and some months afterwards, came out with 5 screws in it. That was for 2 reasons. Obviously, they hadn't worked out yet that they could just put plastic tabs up there and save 2 screws. And when you have the cost of 2 screws over the millions and millions of games, that's a lot of money that you make up just by altering the cartridge mold.
Fair.
Secondly, what this also means is there's a high probability that inside this cartridge is not only the original Legend of Zelda game chipset, but also a converter, because all they did was get the Famicom games.
Oh, and put them into a different
case. This is why the NES carts are double the size of a Famicom cart, because they actually have a converter in there.
Should we open it up and have a look?
No, go to hell.
No, but does opening up break a seal or anything?
Well, I'd have to undo the screws, but no, this is much more valuable than that. So, a normal NES
It doesn't change it, though. Like, I'm not saying open a sealed thing, like.
I'm not risking cross-threading something this valuable.
It's got a big scratch on the back.
It's a first print of one of the most famous games there is.
You could chuck it under an X-ray machine because that'll come through the plastic and show you what's inside.
Listen, Dr. Wang, I don't tell you how to appreciate your
games. If you get
games.
a flathead screwdriver and just pry the side a little bit and shine a torch.
How about I get a flathead screwdriver and pry your neck apart with it?
What? Why your neck?
It's a bit violent.
Well, don't mess with Zelda.
Or Link.
Or Link. You can mess with Zelda.
Oh, whoa.
What?
No,
What?
No, you can't.
What?
No, you can't.
Ganon does it all the time. He messes with Zelda and he pays the price. Because you don't go kidnapping princesses.
True.
Like, easy lesson. Don't kidnap princesses.
No.
I've got nothing. Let's just get on with it.
All right, well, should we do the show?
Yeah, whatever.
All right, let's do the show. Yeah. You're so caffeinated, aren't you?
I'm going to mess something up. Probably my pants.
Your pants.
Yeah, let's do the pants.
All right.
Deals! Hey, we're back. You're back. We're all back. We left our fronts away, so now we're all back, people. Be sure to back that up and listen to us on this show. Floppy.
Yes, mate.
What can people do if they wish to support this fine medium of brilliance?
Well, let's just leave out fine and brilliance and go with this medium. You can head over to hackthedino.com. Where you can find a whole bunch of links to all the sort of wonderful things that we do.
I told you, there's a whole bunch of Zeldas.
A whole bunch of Zeldas. Little green dude. One of them which is to do with Patreons. Because you can jump over to hackthedino.com and join our Discord. And do that and enter into the wonderful chats that everyone has there, discussions. You can also find a little link that will allow you to...
No. You can also find...
Zelda.
Thank you.
that will allow you to support us somewhat financially, if you wish to do so, to help us create this wonderful show that we love doing and hopefully you love watching.
And remember, folks, it's because we need a new computer.
We really do. It's a bit broke. And you can do this on a number of different levels, whichever you choose. At $1 a month, that's really distracting. I had a mate that used to do that all through work conferences while people were giving presentations. It was really
awesome.
hard not to laugh.
Do you know what, in martial arts, in karate, yeah, I'm in karate. There's a thing that karateka do, which is when they acknowledge. So
you say karate kids do?
No, karateka.
What's that?
Practitioners of karate, people who study karate. It's in Japanese.
Karate kids.
Anyway, long story short, instead of saying "hey," which is "I understand" or "yes" in Japanese, they go "us, us, us, us."
That is the Scottish word for belly button.
Yeah, I know, right? I do not like it. I do not like us, because I came up from before we joined the JKA, that we came up in a more traditional. Anyway, going to these things and the instructors are standing up talking, it gets to the point where people, after every single freaking word, people are going us, 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 us.
I'd be like, you got the
It's
hiccups,
like, shut
man?
the farmer's door. Holy smokes in a basket.
It legit is the Glaswegian word for belly button lint, by the way.
Yeah. Anyway, what's up, Patreons?
Yeah, so back to what we were talking about. If you'd like to jump in at $1 a month, you can get access to a private Discord channel as well, just with the Patreons and ourselves, that we jump in there and have cool little convos with and share some cool stuff with. Pickups and such like that, and ideas, and just chit-chat. Chit-chat. Or you can jump in at $2 a month and you get your name added to the list that scrolls down at the bottom of the show. You can see all those lovely people down there that is continuously scrolling along.
It scrolls a bit quicker now.
I did
because
notice.
last
I've
week
noticed.
I got told off in the chat because it was going too slowly.
It was actually awkwardly slow.
Yeah.
Like, uncomfortably so.
I didn't care.
I noticed it. I didn't care that much. If you feel inclined, you can jump in at $10 a month. It gives you an extra show that we do called Dino More, which gets filmed. Well, you can watch it live.
Yeah.
Or it gets sent out.
I think we're due to
as a
film
pod.
one tonight, actually.
Are we?
Yeah.
We should
We
probably
did one
check that.
last show. So
Did we?
Did we?
Yeah.
I haven't put that out, so that'll be coming out tomorrow for you Patreons who get
Whoops.
Dino More.
Yeah. And you also get your names read out. So thank you to Karen Knight, Dylan the Villain, Triple Indy, Mike Towns, Ash Knight, Game Boy Dad, and hey, Zanto.
I wonder who that guy is. Oh, that's the elephant dude.
Yeah, dude with the massive
Big old
microphone.
elephant penis.
Yeah. What? We've gone so well for the whole show without saying anything.
It was PG until a second ago.
Yeah.
Penis is a natural word. They'd learn about penises. It's in the dictionary.
You've also said it just like 8 times in 12 seconds.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. $15 a month.
So is cock.
Oh, God. There we go. There we go. And I've done so well not to even swear.
Cock isn't a swear word. It's in the dictionary.
I'm pretty sure if you go out into the middle of a school and yell it,
Cock.
yep, you're going to get in trouble.
Yeah, probably.
There we go.
But we're not in a school.
Actually, you're probably going to get arrested. Don't do that. $15 a month, you can get every post show. Mm-hmm. So after every show that you see, like we're doing right now, we have little post shows that we do for the lovely people that are in the $15 a month Patreon.
Urethra.
Yeah. Oh, God. You also get a chance to input questions for our quiz game, Quiz on Your Face.
Oh, now I'm the one in trouble. Well, that's the problem, Floppy. There's a vast difference between you and me.
Did you say it's Zac Efron's?
Vast difference.
Jesus. The top tier, though, if you feel so inclined, at $25 a month, you get to supply us with a video ad that we run live during the show, as you've seen. Game Boy Games. Game Boy Games. Do just previous to this cacophony of...
I kid you not, we lost a couple of viewers when I made that vast deference joke.
You know what? You almost lost a host.
That was gold. What are you talking about?
Thank you, everyone that supports us, and thank you, everyone that supports us in any way you can, whether it be monetarily or by viewing or just putting up with Ben's bad jokes.
And you can head over to hackthedino.com if you would like to support us. If you don't have the money to support us, that's fine. All we really desire is to get the show out there. So if you could share us on all your social media things, tell your friends, tell your family, tell your little dog, because we like dogs. They're good little pups. They jump around. They lick everything all over the place. I tried to get away from it, all right? I tried my best. We're just going to leave it there.
So nervous right then.
That's what the dog said. Okay.
Hovering over the stop streaming button.
Can I just say that Michael Town is just sitting there? He nearly got sacked.
Oh, this goddamn.
Thank you, Townsy. That was a good one.
So, speaking of getting sacked, you know who? That was bad. I'm gonna start that again. Hey, Floppy, do you remember the '90s? They were a good time.
No, I remember
pretty
them.
good. Anto,
I was a teenager.
You remember the '90s, don't you?
Kind of. I was born in 1990, so yeah.
Okay. Anime back then. '90s anime. Floppy.
Great. Yeah.
It was great.
Yeah, I remember Akira. I remember Robotech. I remember
Dragon Ball Z.
Dragon Ball Z.
There's a whole lot of really cool anime out there, but there's so much that I didn't realize existed in the anime form.
Ninja Scroll.
No, I knew that one existed. But this one, there was a 90s Mario Brothers anime. Not a TV show, a full-length feature anime. I had no idea it existed.
I've never heard of this.
No, nor
Also,
have I.
haven't read this part of the run sheet. So.
But there's been a fan-made 4K remaster of it, which you can watch for free on YouTube. So this
What's
anime
on screen currently isn't the show.
I was talking about the 90s, but it actually debuted back in 1986. So before Anto was even born. So we can see it on the screen now. Head on over to youtube.com/hackthedino if you actually want to see what we're watching there. It follows Princess Peach as she stumbles into Mario's world and finds herself kidnapped by Bowser, who wishes to return her to the Mushroom Kingdom. In the real world, grocers Mario and Luigi are roped into saving Princess Peach within her video game realm, and things get crazy from there on out. Now, the project comes courtesy of Femboy Films, who say the remaster was made possible thanks to an original 16mm reduction print, likely used for small local screenings back in the day. The group believes that this is one of the few surviving prints of the Nintendo anime, which was Nintendo's first.
I'm sorry. Can you just quickly confirm for me if I'm living in a fever dream, or you said this was developed by Femboy Films?
Correct. No, it wasn't developed. That's the team of people who are restoring it and giving it a 4K treatment.
Can I just say, looking at this now, I reckon I've got this on DVD at home.
Are you kidding me?
No, unless there was another Mario anime that looked very similar to this.
Well, there was that Mario TV series.
There was the Mario Bros. Super Show.
With Captain Lou Albino as Mario, and where Luigi swears during the live action part.
I'm legit going to be looking... I'm pretty sure I haven't got one that's got a live action part. I'm pretty sure my kids have been watching this. And I've had it thrown on the bottom of a shelf.
If you have it...
That's very...
You might have something very... you can't have it. There's no way that you have it. I can almost guarantee you don't have it.
Was it never printed onto DVD in its original
form?
Not
to my knowledge, no. That's why they're doing this 4K remaster, because as my news article suggested, the 16mm reduction print, likely used for small local screenings back in the day, is one of the few, if not the only, surviving print of this film.
It looks very... Why do we need it in 4K? What possible...
Look at it. It's great. Look at Princess Peach.
It's very clean.
I thought that was Link.
Good point. Good point. That's the other game. That's the Metroid game.
Shit.
Speaking of Metroid, you can't play it on the PlayStation 3.
No, you can't.
But what can you play on the PlayStation 3?
You can play a whole bunch of things. Now, due to the fact that with the new PlayStation Plus tiers that are coming out at some point...
The only tiers are in Australia because we will not be getting any PlayStation 3 games.
We're not getting PlayStation 3. So I thought we'd have a look at a buying guide for PS3 if you possibly want to do this. If you want to play your PS3 games, you're going to have to do them physically, buy a machine, buy some accessories, pick up some games. So we thought we'd go through what you might find out in the wild or what you might be looking for when buying a PS3.
And if you are going to buy PS3 games, now's the time to do it because, my goodness, are they cheap.
Oh my God, they're so cheap. Get them all.
Not all of them. Some are real trash.
Just get them all.
Yeah. All right, get them all. Do what you want. It's your money.
Yeah,
I'm not boss of you.
The PS3 was originally launched in November in 2006 for Japan and North America, and March 2007 for Australia and Europe. It was the first console to have Blu-ray because Sony invented the Blu-ray.
Yep.
So it came out with the 360. 360 had DVD. Sony had the Blu-ray. Fit a lot more information on there. It was amazing. It could be controlled by a handheld device, the PSP or the Vita. Mm-hmm. And it was the first to integrate social gaming services. And it was free. So whereas you didn't have, whereas now you pay a subscription for PlayStation Plus or for Xbox Live, you always paid a subscription for Xbox Live. PlayStation's one was free all the time. It did, however, suffer at launch from its hefty price tag of, in Australia, $1,000.
Wow, that's what the original PlayStation was.
That was the 60 gig one, I believe.
That was this one here that you've got in front?
That is this one right here.
And if you can't see it, those of you listening to the podcast won't be able to sell it. How many USB ports did this one have?
Well, I'm going to get to this one. So this is the OG model. It came out in 20 gig and 60 gig. It has HDMI. It had an optical digital input. It had many card reader slots at the front, including, I think, a proprietary one for the PSP. I can't remember the name of it, but it also had SD card.
The Memory Stick Duo.
I think it's got a thing for that. And also another form of media card. It had everything in there. They jammed this thing full. 4 USB ports on the front, which comes into play in a second. It was backwards compatible with PS1, which all PS3s are. Every PS3 will play PS1 games. But the one with 4 USB ports will also play PS2 games.
Wow. And PS3 games.
And PS3 games, of course. Now, it played PS2 games by basically having a PS2 jammed inside of it.
That's pretty cool.
Which means the thing overheats.
Yep.
It's heavy as all heck. And it cost a lot of money, $1,000. But it also had rechargeable wireless controllers, which nobody else had.
Is this the first one?
This is, I believe, the first one to have rechargeable wireless controllers.
So we're not talking about the Wavebird or anything like that?
No, because they required batteries.
Correct.
Yeah, it was the first one to come with a rechargeable wireless controller out of the box.
Yep. You didn't have to put internal batteries. You charged it with a USB, a micro USB cord.
Yes.
Or is it mini?
No, it was, I think, the
Mini
USB.
Yeah, I get them mixed up. It was prone to overheating, which led to new iterations. This one here, mine, unfortunately, is missing the nice little silver cap for the CD reader cards.
Get rid of it.
It's known for the Spider-Man writing. So on the top, you can't see it here. I'll see if I can.
Don't.
I'll probably drop it. It's heavy.
We've all seen Spider-Man.
So Sony obviously had Spider-Man rights, and so they used the font for the Spider-Man film for the PlayStation 3. Mm-hmm. Looks awesome. Didn't carry it on. I think it looks awesome. Like buddy, that's tough. Looks tough.
It looks tough, yeah. Because nothing says tough like swinging around New York in your PJs.
Yeah. Now, if you do see these out in the wild, they are probably going to be a bit hammered, trashed, and full of dirt. But if you see one that has 4 USB ports on the front, pick it up because...
Send them over, care of Hack the Dino at...
There are other ones that only had 2 USB ports. They are not backwards compatible, but they're still cool consoles, man. They're still really, really cool consoles. They followed it up with this slim model, which is this guy here, which I don't think you can see in frame. Quite a bit smaller, quite a bit lighter. Has a matte finish on it now instead of this high gloss thing that showed everyone's fingerprints.
For those of you listening on the podcast who may not have seen either model, I'll describe them for you. So the first PlayStation 3 was sort of like this black box that you put under your TV.
Curved black box.
And then the second one, the Slim, that was a black box that you just put under your TV. So if you like boring black boxes under your TV because you don't have enough black boxes to go under your TV, boy, oh boy, will you like the PlayStation 3, all models, a big black box edition.
Personally,
here we go.
I'm a big fan of the design of all of them.
I'll get onto that one because we'll talk about the third as well. The second one, though, released in 2009, slim model, had no PS2 backwards compatibility. They'd taken that out. It had less...
Where'd they take it?
They left it in the shop.
Took it out back and shot it.
Whoa! I was going to ask what restaurant it took it to. Before it had its way with those slots.
Yeah, there was less ports in it though. They didn't have all the card readers. They didn't have as many USB ports. I think it was only maximum of 3, 2 in the front, 1 in the back. No jokes. It was, however, much smaller, much quieter, and used a lot less power, which was nice on the old power build.
Just like... No, I mean,
No. It is probably the most common model that you'll find out there, because that's sort of the one that the prices started to drop, so everyone started picking that up. It wasn't $1,000 anymore, and they'd cut back on a few things, got the cost down, and it was still like the best Blu-ray player on the market. Like much like the PS2 was the best DVD player on the market.
cheapest as well, wasn't it?
I think it was. I think the PS2 was the cheapest. I can't remember if this was the cheapest Blu-ray.
DVD player available. I don't know about the PS3 being the cheapest Blu-ray player.
But it was definitely one of the best ones, having been that Sony invented the technology. They
But
put their
didn't
best
they
shit.
bundle it? Is it the PS3 or PS2 that got bundled with a lot of TVs? Because I think Braden told a story about
I think
how...
it was PS2.
Yeah, how his mother used to be a Sony rep.
Yeah.
And got his either PS3. I think it was the PS3 because he's a young person. Got it when they bought a TV.
Maybe that was it. Might have been. I don't know that story. But yeah, did you you were about to say something, Anto?
Oh, I just wanted to point out what Townsy said in the chat. The previous edition of the PS3 got Uncle Ben.
Oh,
Nice. It was funny.
I like that. Then following that one up in 2012, they brought out the last iteration of the console, which was the Super Slim, which is, I think, the weirdest looking one. It looks like corrugated iron on top. It's a lot smaller. It was a hell of a lot cheaper. It came out in 2 different sizes. A 500 gig, which was the biggest hard drive that you could get. The other ones maxed out at 320, I think.
So remember when, like we were talking about retro games earlier.
Yeah.
Remember when you could fit a game on a 3.5 meg floppy disk?
Yeah, that was ridiculous.
Remember when you were like freaking out because you had like a gig of memory in a gig hard drive, and that was like, wow, my 486 can kick your ass.
So,
We're old.
This got released as a 500 gig model and as a 12 gig model, which was ridiculous. I don't understand why I got...
Is the 12 gig model the rarer to come by now? Like you've got the Wii U, you've got the bigger one and the smaller one.
I don't know.
Surely that'd have a better run, right?
When it was still
Limited
in
run.
stores, you could still get either of them. Like they weren't... I wouldn't say one was more common than the other. I know one got bought more because just for argument's sake, the 12 gig model, you couldn't... If you only had one game and it was GTA 5, it wouldn't fit on that console. Like the one game. Having said that, the coolest thing they did with these is they made the hard drives quite easy to swap out.
Right.
Really, really easy.
Just like the PlayStation 5.
That's
they
what
kept that
I wanted to
up,
touch
right?
on very quickly. Was my PS3. I bought a Super Slim. I got one of these after my Slim, unfortunately, kicked the bucket just after use. Like, it just stopped working one day. I don't know why. Mine was a 12 gig model. So I just yanked the hard drive out of my older PS3, chucked it in here.
Yeah.
Fine.
They were really easy to do. That was one of the best things they did about it, is they made that part user-friendly. One part they didn't make user-friendly was developing for it, which is a big issue as to why we don't have a lot of PS3 backwards compatibility stuff.
Which is why we don't get it now with this new tier stuff.
Something to do with the cell processor. I don't know all the tech stuff about them. But yeah, look, if you're looking at getting PS3 consoles, any one of those consoles is going to be awesome. The big fat guys with 4 ports, if you can get them, are going to be rarer. They are going to be old. That's 2007. It's a long time now. But I think they used kettle cords as well.
Oh, really? I reckon everyone's got like 5 kettle cords just lying around.
If I'm just going to look at them. Yeah, so the big original models use kettle cords, so most people have those lying around. But from that point onwards, and including the PS2, they always use your standard figure 8 power cable. So if you find one out in the wild that doesn't have that power cable with it, don't worry about it, because you'll have one at home. Like you'll have one at home. They all use HDMI. You've all got a bunch of those. The original one had AV as well. So did the Slim. And it's the same AV cable that was on the PS1 and the PS2.
Just like the Super Nintendo and the NES and the GameCube.
Yeah, all the same.
I was actually in a Cash Converters the other day. I was talking to one of the guys there. I was looking through all his stuff, and he had a box game cube up there. And he was saying how it's been a bit harder to sell because he doesn't have the AVs for it. And I said, do you have some Super Nintendo AVs or something like that? And he went, yeah. And I went, they're all the same, man.
Yeah.
He went, what?
Cool. I'll get that for cheaper because it doesn't have the AV.
Well,
I'll
no.
buy that AV bail.
It was still a couple of $100 overpriced, but still, like that's the level of integration that Nintendo had. I think it was the Wii was the first time they changed the AV port.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Now you don't have a PS3, do you?
I got one at a garage sale, as I spoke about last show. I was at a garage sale and got it for $5 in a box.
Have you fired it up?
No, I used it in a trade with King Kaiju. I traded because I don't collect PlayStation stuff.
No, you
Like,
don't.
it's
Whereas
Nintendo.
I tend to focus more on PlayStation than anything else. So this is actually my PS3 that I have set up and used to play PS3 games because I can't do it on anything else. This is one that I haven't used yet, but I want to find a door for it.
A door?
Like the silver door that goes over the card readers.
Just make one out of alfoil.
Was it a silver one or was it black?
I reckon it was silver. Or is it silver surround with a black door?
How much does the 4-port PS3 original one go for?
You know what? I haven't looked at how much it sells for lately. Do you want to have a quick look?
Anto's
You on it?
I'm on it.
Now, from my
What am I?
knowledge, they go for a bit more because they are the backwards
They are.
compatible
They are
ones.
sought after.
They are the more collectible ones.
Yeah. There's a few PlayStations that people find that are more collectible, not because of what they look like, but because of what they can do. So there's a specific model of the PS1, the original PlayStation, that has like the best CD player.
That's right,
and
yes.
everything in it. And so people use it, like audiophiles will grab that PS1 to use for music.
It's the one with the AVs out, correct? The AV
I
plugs?
believe so.
Yeah,
There's a
because
specific
otherwise-
model number that you look for.
Yeah. The first round.
Yeah.
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 Anto?
Sorry, I got distracted. I just saw one of the Advent Children original PS3
Oh,
models
for fuck's sake.
and got excited because it's available and
We
I might
have
do
a
it.
toy fair this weekend. Stop looking at Final Fantasy. Stop.
And look up the price for PlayStation 3 for ports. The
Average
original.
price, depending on condition, is roughly $80 with console and power cord only. Anywhere up to about $350 if it's complete.
Is that for the 4-port backwards compatible one?
That's for the 4-port backwards compatible one.
That was a lot cheaper than I thought.
When I say complete, I mean like no box, like just all the cables, a controller system.
$300. That sounds about right.
So yeah, $300. You have a controller with it. You have a kettle cord, and you have a HDMI.
Though there is one that sold for $412.
Whatever. You got lucky. All right.
Yeah.
What else
Yeah.
you got there, Floppy?
So next thing after you get your console, once again, if you find one of them, just grab it because you'll have the cables at home. Easy. Some accessories. So this came out with. Did you know it came out with 2 versions of the controllers?
Yes.
No.
Yeah, it came out with the Dualshock 3, which you'll be familiar with. It's same pretty much as the PS4 controller that you've had, but without a touchpad. And it did rumble, heavy rumble on the left, light rumble on the right. That's what they are. They're different sized weights and the different size of the handles. And it also had 6-axis, which is your motion, which you use for fun games because the Wii did it. And it had 6 degrees of sort of motion.
Separation from Kevin Bacon.
Yes. There was also one that came out that just had the 6-axis.
Yeah?
There was 6-axis and there was
It was
DualShock.
the 6-axis and the DualShock 3 because there was, I think, a licensing or a rights issue.
Yes. And then the DualShock 3 was the one that had the motion and rumble. And the 6-axis did not. It had nothing.
I remember when it first was announced that the DualShock 3 wasn't a thing and it was just the 6-axis controller. I'm pretty sure Sony tried to spin it that because the advanced tech of the motion sensing was in the controller, they couldn't do rumble to hide the licensing issue. And then the DualShock 3 was announced after they came up with an agreement with Ken
whole
Kutaragi.
Rumble pack.
Yeah.
Was this the system that had the infamous boomerang controller?
Yes.
It was. That was only when it never got into production.
No. There's been prototypes though, right? And they're worth a lot of money.
I think so. I've never seen one.
One sell on eBay for a lot of money.
So that was when they first announced it. It had this massive boomerang, looked like a giant banana boomerang controller. It was ridiculous. I don't even know how you'd hold it. It's stupid. I don't know why it was ever invented as a thing. I'm glad it didn't get into production. But, it would be a cool thing to have on a collection on a wall. But yeah, so if you pick up controllers and you have a look, if you turn them around and have a look at the front of the controller, where the
That looks like a
charging port would be,
Logitech controller.
It does, doesn't it? It looks like a Logitech controller. It's disgusting. How could you even hold that?
Like this.
No,
I grew up with the Nintendo
Look where your
64,
thumbs would
buddy.
have to be.
Yeah, like this. For those of you listening to the podcast, it's a completely normal motion that I'm making.
Which will not work on that controller that we're looking at whatsoever. Your hands would have to
Stop
be
it then.
inside the controller.
What? I'm simply flicking the thumb things.
Yeah, have a look on the front of the controller where the charging port is. It'll either say 6-axis or it'll say Dualshock 3. If you like rumble and motion, get the Dualshock 3. You can pick them up everywhere. Second-hand shops.
Everywhere.
Pawn shops, everywhere. You'll see them.
Like the
Heaps.
pharmacist.
Mm.
Just going with your prescription.
Now,
Your PS3 encryption.
how good was the Wii doing at this point in time?
Oh, it was killing
It
everything.
was killing everything.
Murdering
Everything.
competition.
And it had motion. So what did everyone else
Copy
try
that.
to put in?
Oh, yeah. So we had the Kinect and we had the Move.
The
And I thought
PlayStation
Wii was a
Move.
stupid name.
PlayStation Move and the PlayStation Navigation controller. So these were partnered up with the PlayStation 3, I think it was called the iToy,
PlayStation
which is the camera.
Move. do you know what cows called it when they played it?
Oh, what?
Nothing. They can't talk. Animals can't speak English.
I'm pretty sure, Floppy, this one was just called the PlayStation Eye.
It was the PS2 one was called the iToy, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So this worked on light sensing. It was a camera that watched a coloured ball on the end of your controller. It would look. I think it works well. Bum bum. That's enough now. So this came out in 2010 to answer to the Wiimote and the nunchuck. So the Move controller had a light sensing ball on the end of it, which worked like a Wii remote. And the navigation controller was essentially the same thing, but with an analog stick on it. Pretty much exactly the same as a
So
nunchuck.
you got the ball in one hand and the stick in the other.
Yes. Nunchuck in the other, essentially.
So what do you do with the
You
two?
were
Do you
working
separate
the
them?
balls and the shaft at the same time.
That's right.
One cool thing that this did do is turn first-person shooters pretty much into light gun games, which was
Really?
which is awesome.
So what? You cock it and then shoot at you?
Yeah,
So just like this. So you got the ball and you go.
I'm fully expecting Floppy to beat you over the head with one of his controllers in a minute.
I love peripherals, and you can get some really cool ones.
Wow, that's a big red gun you got there, Floppy.
I have a big red gun. It was to fit this bad boy, the PlayStation Move. It was the big ball that it would follow. The camera would follow, and it would fit into some of these sorts of things. Now these things are really cool. I like this sort of stuff. This thing has buttons on it for everything. You can flick it to...
Where do you like it?
Single shot, semi, or full automatic. Go on, make a drink about semi. It is a Sony branded one. I found this. Did I tell you I found this for like $5 in an op shop?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I love finds like that.
You would put the Move controller up here, which would aim using the camera, and the navigation controller you would put down here, which would activate and had all full use of all of the controls as well that you would have on a DualShock 3.
The
These
logistical
things-
design of that thing is actually quite impressive if it's got it gives you full access to the controller while also holding a rifle.
Yeah, everything. So you have full access to the buttons. You've got other little buttons here, which is for your triangle and square buttons. You've got another button down here, which was for your PlayStation button, or your start button. You had select and option buttons up here. You had access to the trigger on the bottom of the Move controller in here by maneuvering that. It is awesome design. If you just wanted to use a single controller, yeah, these little guys.
You've got a lot of guns.
Yeah, but they're all toys.
Oh. Wow.
So once again, this gives you access to all of the controls on one Move controller.
Do they work with PSVR?
PSVR has its own aim controller,
That is a VR good question, Anto.
which is essentially one of these with one of these built in, and then it also has analog sticks built into the controller.
That's cool.
I have one of them, but I didn't bring it because it's not a PS3 thing.
Yeah, that's fair.
But yeah,
Oh, PSVR wasn't PS3, was it? I'm thinking
no, it's
10
PS4.
years ahead. Jesus.
Yeah.
That was a VR dumb question, Anto.
If only you weren't so tall and did karate.
He would scold you.
That's right.
But yeah, if you see anything sort of like that would fit a giant stick with a ball on the end of it out in the wild, grab them.
Grab them. And
Just
then
reach
say,
out
Your
and grab
Honor,
them.
Floppy told me to. And they will send all litigation to Floppy, care of hackthedino.com.
There are also two different kinds of these. The PS3 and the PS4 ones
There's more
exactly the same, except for the charging port on the bottom. I'm setting you up now. The PS3 one had the mini USB. The PS4 one had the micro USB.
Well, poor PS4.
Yeah.
What else did the PS3 have?
PS3 had some games.
Oh, good.
Now, the PS3 had a lot of groundbreaking, really cool games.
Groundbreaking?
Groundbreaking. What did you think I said?
I thought
No,
you
you
said
said
ground
baking.
baking.
Did I? Did I say
did.
ground baking?
You did.
It cooked up a storm.
Hey.
All right. So now, once again, I've got a list of must-play games. I think they're must-play games for different reasons. Feel free to alter the list if you wish, or just ignore it entirely. They're in no particular order, and I have some of them here with me today. First one being The Last of Us. Everyone, whether you've had a PlayStation or not, has heard of The Last of Us and heard of the sort of the groundbreaking work they did in storytelling.
Is that the golf game?
Yes.
No, it's the second one. Sorry, my mistake.
Yes, that's the golf game. Amazing characters, well-written stories, fantastic graphics. Like, even on the PS3, you put this thing on, and just the menu screen, we just got like this window with a vine. It's like phenomenal.
Joel's really good at getting holes in one.
Sorry,
Yes.
I was just looking for some footage that wasn't like grey and shadowy and not good graphically.
Yeah, I'm going to say, because of these, I looked for gameplay, not just the nice trailer, which makes it look shittier because people have just captured it somehow. Yeah, the graphics for this on the PS3 still blow me away. Like, I still think they are amazing. You get to do loads of upgrades to your weapons, your stuff like that. There are hair-raising moments in this thing.
Yeah, I just want to point out that Michael Towns in the chat has just said that Joel is a member of a very exclusive club.
Yes, he is. This game... Have you actually played this game?
Yeah, I played Last of Us, yes.
Okay. Have you played this, Anto?
Controversially, no.
Are you aware of, like, specific points in the game?
Kind of.
Okay.
I know the plot of the first one to a sort of basic degree, and I have played like maybe 15, 20 minutes of it.
Okay, can we spoil it?
Yes.
No, wait, hang on. First 30 minutes of this will make you cry.
I think that's what I played, the intro, and I was like, oh yeah, I'm not
And
going
then,
to play this.
and it's amazing. Like, it does. It really takes a turn that you didn't think it would dare to do it. And then it uses sort of that emotion and everything it does, and then it carries it through the whole game. And shows how those sorts of events that they have in this thing, it like really affects the characters down the line, and gives them motivations to do other things. It keeps you on the edge of your seat. Like, it's unreal.
That ending, can we just talk about that ending very quickly? All seriousness here, it was when I got to that ending and realised, oh, Joel's the bad guy. like I won't go into too many specifics. We've said spoilers, but yeah. Joel is a bad person.
Not a nice dude.
No. He makes a choice, and it is everything that you would associate with a villain. Mm-hmm. Like, it's purely selfish motivations, and amazing.
And I think it's brilliant writing, because, like...
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, I think it is... Yeah, everyone should play Last of Us.
Honestly, this was I think the first game that really could be considered something like a AAA writing game.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, it is that well crafted. You can actually sit down and just watch the cutscenes and have a 4-hour movie. It's that good.
And they are making a TV show of this out.
Pedro Pascal. Ooh.
Yes. Handsome
Pedro
man. The other thing I was going to say is I am aware that there is a PS4 remaster, remix of this. Remix.
Mm-hmm. And a PS5 one coming as well.
But, I put it on here because it is a PS3. It was a PS3 exclusive. It was groundbreaking, and if you're a purist and you want to play it on the system that it came out on, that's the one. Next one.
Also going to be a TV show.
Oh yeah, it is too. I forgot about that.
Yeah, which is why the price is jumping up.
Twisted Metal.
Yep.
If you haven't heard of Twisted Metal, imagine Mario Kart, but it needs more big explosions, creepy clowns, and just crunching of metal. Well, which it could. If you want all of that stuff, then you should play Twisted Metal. This has also excellent 4-player split screen.
Oh.
Which is... Oh, yeah, it's really full on. This is more gameplay. Yeah, crazy vehicular combat. Like it is. What was that mode in Mario Kart?
Battle mode?
Yeah, battle mode. So imagine that, but with like big explosions, rockets, and just Mad Max style vehicles made out of like, clown cars and ice cream trucks and whatnot. It is so much fun, and it is at that time where split screen stuff had started to disappear, except for like maybe on the Wii and stuff like that. Like everyone else had been moving to online because it was such a big thing now, and it was getting harder to find games that would do split screen racing or just anything like that. So yeah, Twisted Metal, a lot of fun if you want to sit down with your mates and just have that for a while.
Not to be confused with that other classic game, Twisted Metal Gear Solid, where Solid Snake plays a clown intent on stopping the big old Twisted Metal Gear.
If we didn't just lose more viewers, I don't know how.
Yeah, we lost a couple.
Yeah, there we go. Next game on the list, I'm going to bet that you haven't played or heard of, maybe.
I'm going to bet that you're right. So who wins?
We both do.
Yay, everyone's a winner.
I'm going to bet you're wrong.
Well,
you're wrong.
You've heard of it, but I bet Ben hadn't. Have you played Puppeteer?
Coda and I own it.
How would you like to talk about Puppeteer?
It's very good. I can't talk about it in detail because I've only played maybe an hour.
All right, so it's like
hour I played
Pinocchio
was good.
meets Little Big Planet, essentially. But very, very dark.
Not to be confused with Pinocchio Metal Gear Solid, where Solid Snake will one day be a real boy.
Yes. You play as a puppet who has lost your head, and you need to use other puppets' heads to run around and complete the game.
I love a game where you have to get good head.
If you get hit or damaged, your head falls off. You have to get another one. And you use your scissors, Paper Mario style, to alter the environment that's around
Yes, the Paper Mario scissor mechanic.
To alter, or was it Yoshi's Crafted World or something like that, where you would alter the environment around you using sort of stuff
I
like
bet
that.
it does. Makes it a lot slippery.
But yeah, it's really dark. If you're into sort of the twisted, sort of more
Erotic.
atmospheric sort of stuff, definitely give Puppeteer a go. It is a hard one to find. You don't see it
I
around
bet
very
it is.
much.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely worth the few bucks that you'll find it for if you see it out in the wild. Yes. Next one. I'm so nervous as to what rubbish you're coming up with, mate. Next one is Heavenly Sword. Have you played Heavenly Sword?
No, I have
Are you
not.
aware of it?
I am aware of one of those words.
Okay. Sword?
Yes.
So imagine God of War, so like that hack and slash style thing. You got different size.
I am aware of one of those words.
You got different sword shapes depending on different attacks. Really great writing in this, really cool story, and has Andy Serkis doing some voice work.
Not to be confused with Twisted Metal Gear Solid Sword, where Solid Snake's a clown. This is what happens when you don't include me in the thing.
I'm trying to talk to you about things, but you just keep saying rubbish.
Was this made by the team that did God of War?
Insomniac. Not Insomniac, but Santa Monica.
You know what? I'm not 100% sure. You know what? I've got it here. This is Heavenly Sword. Made by...
PlayStation 3.
made by PlayStation 3. I can't read it because I haven't got my glasses on. There you go. Thank you.
You continue. I'll have a look. I'll research.
There.
Welcome to Hack the Dino, where we struggle to read things.
Where I struggle because I don't wear my glasses because I'm
Ninja Theory.
Ninja Theory.
Ah, okay.
Made by Ninja Theory.
That explains why there's a mostly naked woman in it.
Got quite a lot more clothes than most animes.
Yeah, that's fair. But
It's
still.
not a high bar, though, is it, Floppy?
No.
But anyway, she got a lot more clothing than, say, beach volleyballers.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yes. Next on the list, everyone knows the Uncharted series.
Ah, Tom Holland, yes.
Nathan Drake, played by Tom Holland, yes, in all of the movie and none of the games. Nathan Drake is Indiana Jones meets...
Lara Croft.
Yeah, I was going to say Tomb Raider. Yeah, absolutely. It is. They are such good stories. They're a lot of fun, swashbuckling adventure. Really good comedy writing in there as well. Number 2 is highly regarded as sort of the pinnacle of the series. I like number 1.
Thank you. I think number 1's the best one as well.
Yep, it's the one that I enjoyed the most.
Yeah.
I'm not by any means saying that number 2 is bad. I think they're all great games, including what was the one on the Vita?
Golden something.
Golden something on the Vita.
Shower.
Don't.
Got him before you.
It wasn't Golden Compass. That's a movie and a book.
Something along those lines, anyway.
I
can't remember off the top of
I'm
my
too
head.
lazy to Google it.
Yeah. And then there was, number 4 on the PS4 as well. It is just such a great series with a continuing storyline that's just, cool characters, and you watch them grow and everything. I'm so nervous as to what rubbish you're coming up with.
Completely innocent.
Yes.
There we go.
Wonderful.
Better gameplay.
Your Honour.
Yes, there we go. Also, while you're out there, if you see any of these bad boys, try to not get the light on it, Infamous 1 or 2, please do yourself a favour and grab those. There is the other one. Infamous 1, Infamous 2. These guys are really, really cool. So you can imagine an everyday dude who all of a sudden got superpowers. How cool is that? And those superpowers were electricity-based.
It's Max Dillon.
Max Dillon?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It's Electro.
Yes.
He has electric powers.
Yes, I know.
And a really dumb mask.
Right? Stupid electric. It's
Like they give Mysterio a hard time. Like Mysterio's made sense. He was concealing his identity. Like I've got sparks coming out of my face.
Are you guys currently spoiling Spider-Man for me?
No.
No, that's
have you
years
not
old
read
characters.
any Spider-Man comic from the 60s onwards?
I was born in the 90s, so comics were dead by that point.
Excuse.
Oh. Okay, so in Infamous, they also had a really well integrated morality system. So you could shoot lightning, you could toss electrical grenades, you could ride power lines like a skateboard. It was awesome. If you use these powers for good and not just destroying everything, the general public around would cheer you on as you went past. They'd even help you by throwing like rocks and garbage and fruit and vegetables at your enemies and helping you out in fights. If you, however, decided to just destroy everyone and went a little rampant, they would go the other way. They would be not rule friendly towards you, actively fighting against you.
Throw puppies at you.
Yeah, throw puppies at you.
Messy.
Just gross.
Yeah.
Really cool games. And number 2, carried on the story. No, there was another one with a female character called First Light.
Last Light, I believe it was
Last
called.
Light? Something like that?
Might be First Light.
Braden played these games a lot, and I think the one piece of advice that he gave us, which I thought was really, really good, is you always do these games where they have a moral system. You always do the good guy path first.
Yeah.
Because when you go the bad guy path, it's a lot more fun and a lot more easier.
I don't actually do. I like to play the good guy. I don't enjoy playing the bad guy. That's why I can't play GTA.
Me either.
Yeah, okay.
I am the bad guy.
Bullshit.
What?
Nothing.
Of the two of us, I'm clearly the supervillain.
Yes, that's 100%.
Yeah, so what are you arguing
And
about?
I am the super
Does that make
good
me the
looking.
guy in the chair?
No, that makes you the sidekick.
The
Floppy's
guy in the
sidekick.
chair. Yeah, he's the guy in the chair.
You're Elephant Man. No, wait, there was already one of them. That was different. You're
Have you
Long
played
Schlong Silver.
Long Schlong Silver.
Jesus Christ.
Have you played Infamous?
No, I haven't.
That would make a hell of a TV show, actually.
Yeah?
Infamous would be a really good TV show, I reckon. Next one, I've gone for a little bit different. This guy here.
Oh.
Heavy Rain.
If you like not playing a game and watching them, play something by Kojima instead.
What's his name? David Cage?
Yeah, something like that.
David Cage and Quantic Dream made Heavy Rain. Now, Heavy Rain was one of the first games that I felt where it had really well implemented QuickTime events and also decision-based
The irony
consequences.
being, they weren't quick at all.
No, you didn't. They weren't too bad. They weren't. They were relatively easily achievable. But it also tried to implement the motion stuff for the DualShock 3 in kind of weird ways, where you had to shower and you had to shake the controllers, like brush your teeth and dry yourself, which was odd. But I kind of found it a little bit endearing. Like I kind of liked doing the mundane, weird, get up in the morning stuff and go and get dressed.
I can see the spark in Ben's eyes. He's waiting to say something.
There was like a gratuitous butt shower shot of the dude, though, at least.
Oh, that's a nice change.
It was a nice change. You'll probably see it shortly. I mean, I think this is a full playthrough on this game.
Right.
The coolest thing about this game is the story. So it's there's a serial killer named the Origami Killer.
Mm-hmm.
And
Not to be confused with the Oregano Killer.
Oregano killer. No,
And he just goes around like just gathering herbs, gives them
Yeah.
to people. He's a quite nice guy, actually.
leaves them on the ground with a little note.
Barred rat, spice. Try some flavour, white people.
So this
good for you.
game followed the story of four completely different strangers whose, here you go, gratuitous butt shot soon,
Am I going to
think.
have to censor this very quickly, or?
No, I don't care.
I don't think so.
Hey,
It's just a
podcast
butt.
people, you ever seen a man's butt? Well, you're looking at one now. Okay, continue.
Podcast people, you probably still haven't if you hadn't already, because you're listening to this. But yeah, the four stories intertwined like really, really well. And the decisions you made and actions that you chose really had a huge impact on how the game ended. He's just drying your hair with the controller. Love it. I'm sorry. It really doesn't come into play at all during the rest of the game, except for this part, which is just odd. But I kind of like it because it's weird.
It's immersive.
Do people really shower, not dry themselves, and put their pants on while they're still wet? Sorry,
How else do you do it?
underwear.
No, pants is fine. Anyway, I'm just worried that he
and
put
then
the
you
same
brush
pair
it.
of underwear on. But anyway, continue.
But yeah, if you like story-based stuff, this thing is awesome. And if you haven't played it, hopefully it hasn't been spoiled for you. You follow and take control of this guy, who is a dad that's looking for his son, of a lady that also gets intertwined in the story, which I won't tell you how, a private detective, and an FBI agent. And yeah, brilliant writing. They went on to make another one called Beyond Two Souls, which starred Willem Dafoe and Elliot Page.
And they made that one that came out a couple of years ago.
Detroit
Yes.
Become Human.
Yes,
Detroit
that
Become
one.
Human, which I think was awesome as well. They same sort of thing. It followed the story of a number of different characters, all intertwined through different ways. But yeah, definitely pick up Heavy Rain if you like story-based stuff.
And if you also like story-based stuff, but not your conventional story, like a story told out of sequence, out of order over the course of 20 years, what
Watch
can they pick
Pulp
up?
Fiction.
Well, or something better than Pulp Fiction. What can they pick up, Floppy?
This bad boy here.
What is that bad
That
boy
is
there?
one of my prides and joys of my collection is the Metal Gear Solid PS3 Legacy Collection. So this thing has almost everything you could want to, if you want a one-stop shop for Metal Gear. Nearly
Gear.
everything. Metal Gear.
Metal Gear. Yeah, Metal Gear Survive isn't on there, unfortunately. Which is a good thing, which is why it's the best thing.
Yeah. Because we don't talk about that one. So this is like the definitive collection so far with Metal Gear at this point in time when it came out. It had Metal Gear 2, both from the MSX and the NES.
Were they the MSX versions or the SNES?
You know what?
The NES
I'm
versions?
not 100% sure.
Pretty sure it's the
If you
MSX.
open that up, you're probably about to find out.
Pretty
It had
sure it's
the
the
Metal
MSX
Gear
ones.
Solid, which is the first Metal Gear game that I played, and it's my favourite game of all time. It also had the virtual missions, which were essentially DLC for that game, but released as a physical disc. It had Metal Gear Solid 2, 3, 4, and Peace Walker. And it had a couple of digital graphic novels as well to go into more story.
Was Portable Ops on there as well?
No, so Portable Ops and the other one from the PSP.
Portable Ops isn't a Kojima game.
Oh, okay.
Is that a card-based one?
That's Acid.
That's Metal Gear Acid.
Oh, maybe it was Acid that's not the Kojima game. It's one or two of them. The PSP ones that Kojima didn't really have anything to do with besides overseeing them.
Yeah, but it's Metal Gear. You've heard us talk about Metal Gear
What?
a million times,
Nah, I'm just
especially
gonna
that
read
guy. Do you own this?
Yeah, I bought
Yeah.
it brand new from Shintokyo.
Yeah, I bought
Great.
it brand new. I want to say when it released.
But I bought it brand new from Shintokyo like last year.
Yeah, that's. Do
Like,
you mind if I mind how much did you get it for then?
Like $50.
Oh, that's like super good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
really,
I
really
love
cool.
that. That is one of my prides and joys. I love that game so much. Well, that collection so much. The last game I'll put on here as a must-play,
Mm-hmm.
I think, is one I am going to let Ben talk about because I know how much you love this game.
Metal Gear Solid was
Oh.
made back in... We're talking about Journey. By that game company, music by Austin Wintory. That game, Journey, is brilliant. Just a brilliant, chilled out, loving game. You connect with a piece of carpet. Like, not since Aladdin have I connected with a piece of carpet like I do in Journey. It's just a wonderful game. words cannot describe my love for this game. This is one of the games that I've streamed a couple of times. When I was streaming it last time, I actually had someone jump in the stream because you can finish it in like 2.5 hours.
I was about to say, it's not very long, is it?
It's not, but you have to do it multiple times in order to get everything for it.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually, because the big secret for Journey is that during your journey, you'll get another Sky Child come and join you.
Yep.
And it's at the end of the game, you realize, oh, that's another person.
That's right, because you think it's just an NPC while you're playing, don't you?
Yeah, but they show you things and they show you here, show you there. And yeah, so while I was streaming it, I had someone jump in the chat because it's still got a huge fan base.
Yeah.
And they jumped in and then it was revealed, like someone was helping me and this person was talking to me in the chat and everything. And then right at the end of the game, after you've made it up the mountain and complete the quest, it tells you who that person was.
Yep.
And it was the guy who was on the chat with me. He'd somehow found a way to jump in and he was talking to me on the chat as well as playing with me and showing me everything and showing me where all the hidden trophies are. It's just a wonderful, lovely game full of beautiful imagery. It's been remastered for the PS4 as well.
Mm-hmm.
Highly suggest that this is a must-play game. Like even just to listen to the music. It's iconic. It's wonderful. One of my favorite games of all time.
Now, it came out as a collection, so it also had Flower and Flow.
I
Correct.
was hoping someone was going to mention Flower because I had such a good time with that. When
I love
first got my
Flower.
PS3.
Have you played Journey, Anto?
I have, but I unfortunately have never played it to the degree that sort of people say it's a good time for. Like, I've never had anyone jump in and play it with me or... Yeah, I don't know. It's just always been a very solo experience whenever I've tried it, and... I feel like I missed out on the sort of hype train for it, and it sort of doesn't have the same... it didn't give me the same impression. But I can appreciate that the music's beautiful, and it looks really nice, it plays well. I just missed out on a lot of the, I guess, cultural impact that it had.
I got really big Journey vibes last year when I played. It's either Gris or Gree, I can't remember now. And I got huge Journey influence vibes from that. Like, this game is phenomenal. The ones that come with it, Flower and Flow, also they're more experiences than games, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Yep.
Flower, you play the wind, and you go around and collect flower petals to be able to rejuvenate dead areas of land. Like, it's just set to really beautiful music in the background. Flow is you're start out like a little undersea organism, and you're just sort of like combining with other organisms and growing and going through different levels. It's one of those things that sounds dumb, but you start it and you can't stop it. You go, oh, it's 3 hours.
You should play Journey though, because again,
Or
it's
play
like 2
Journey.
hours. 2 hours. What do you got to do for 2 hours? Nothing. Besides watch this show.
Talk about anything else?
Yeah, sure.
Like
All
what?
right. I don't know. Something cool. Deals. Floppy.
All right, now I, in a bit of a faux pas, forgot to put any Switch deals in.
Yeah, right. We know who's paying you off. Big Sony money coming in.
And Xbox.
Your Sony pony Xbox.
So I get all the good stuff.
That's right. $5. Big red. Dongs.
Jump over to the PlayStation Store at the moment, and there's a couple of sick bargains. One that I realised I forgot to put a video in for. Sorry, Ant.
Doesn't matter. We're running long now anyway.
Yep. So first one, Dying Light. The following, the Enhanced Edition. So this has the base game. The following expansion has a Horde mode, has 2 extra zones, weapons, and outfits. This is a first-person parkour-based shooter with zombies, and it is terrifying, and it is awesome, and you should all play it. It's normally $48, and it's down to $19 dues.
Good deal.
Very good deal. Very good deal. Because, especially like the fact that it's got everything in there. Like the enhancement, it's got all the DLCs, everything. Have you played this?
No.
It is terrifying.
Cool.
Because it's first person, you don't have the huge view. Mm-hmm. So you're running first person parkour, trying to jump onto ledges and shit that you will then miss, but you can't see what's below you because of the view. Yeah. Real scary. Now, I'm not 100% sure how to pronounce the next one properly, but it's Captain Tsubasa.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Tsubasa?
Yep.
So this is stupid amounts of fun. If you think FIFA is boring, play this.
Okay.
Because this is arcade anime football.
Cool.
Or as we would call it, soccer. But football.
No, you pronounce that wrong. It's so, sir.
Yeah, okay. This is like FIFA, but like fun. Interesting, over-the-top, super finishing shots. anime style stuff. It's. I played this for a surprisingly long period of time, considering I don't generally like these types of games. It's normally $85, $21 at the moment.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of sports anime. Like, I'm not... You can judge by my body type. I'm not a sporty guy. But, like, football anime, basketball anime, boxing anime, it's all so good.
Is
And
that
this is a
basketball
really
one
good time.
Slam or something? Slam something?
I think Slam City is the basketball anime one.
That's a good time.
But there's also Kuroko's Basketball, which is also fantastic. It's like Dragon Ball Z meets basketball. So good.
I love that while running down the field, they've all got like Naruto dust things coming behind them. Like, it's so good. The third deal that we have on the PlayStation is one of my personal faves. I love this game. Speaking about first-person parkour, Mirror's Edge. Now, Mirror's Edge, I love it more so not for the art style than for anything else. Have you ever played this?
No, I just keep thinking of Edge, the WWE wrestler.
Yeah, okay. So this is...
We're talking Mirror's Edge Catalyst?
No, we're just talking Mirror's Edge.
Oh, cool. Original Mirror's Edge is great. Love it.
Original Mirror's Edge. So it's set in the future where the only safe way to transport information is via a runner, because all electronic ways are tapped or monitored. And so you have to parkour your way around this amazingly clean city, very futuristic, very, very like sort of base colours. And it looks great. And all the ways that you run are sort of highlighted with red. Like there'll be a ladder or a ramp to jump off. It's all colour-coded. And it's a lot of fun, very quick. Minimal combat because it's all based on movement. This is normally $25. You can get it for $6. It is really cool.
Yeah.
Look,
You look. I've never seen you look so bored.
No, I'm just crashing really, really hard.
Because $6 to play on PS4/5?
Yeah.
Wow, I might pick that up again, just because like playing it on a modern system would be so nice.
It is such a nice looking game. A lot of fun, especially when you get like a really good run that you just do flawlessly.
When you hit the flow state, yeah.
Yeah.
It's real nice.
Jumping over to the Xbox and onto Game Pass. Some cool things that are coming to Game Pass. I had to put this one in here. I don't actually know much about this game, but it's got the coolest name. It is Turnip Boy Commits Tax Evasion.
I haven't played it either, but I'm a big fan of not paying taxes.
It is so weird.
Not that I ever have not.
So apparently you have to solve puzzles and meet weird vegetables while trying to pay back your massive debt. I don't know
What that means.
It sounds amazing, and it's on Game Pass, so if you have Game Pass anyway, you don't have to pay anything extra for it. It's probably worth a check out. I'm going to be doing it. One thing that I did download this week, just because I liked the name, and I haven't actually looked into how much it is, or like what it is
Twisted Metal Gear Solid.
Yeah, is Chinatown Detective Agency. So solve cases with real-world research in 2037, using time and money carefully, lest you go broke and fail. How you use your money, I'm not 100% sure yet. Maybe you bribe people. I don't know. But I'm going to find out because it looks cool.
I can tell why you like this one, because it looks like an old-school Sierra game.
And I do have quite the fancy for them. Last one coming to Game Pass, which I'm actually going to check out because it looked freaking amazing.
And it's Game Pass, so why wouldn't you?
Is MLB The Show 22? Like,
Yeah.
it's baseball.
Yep.
I don't know baseball. I don't understand baseball. But this thing looked amazing. Like, I actually stopped and watched the trailer for longer than I thought I would ever watch a baseball game, just because of how pretty it looked. It looked phenomenal, and, you know, it intrigues me. It's better than AFL, I think, but, you know, hey. Anyway, that's deals.
There's some deals for you, and here's something else for you to have in your face. It's a quiz, a whole heap of quiz just coming at you. Quiz on your face time, everyone. Yay, quizzing.
You're crushing so hard, aren't you?
Oh, yeah. This is what happens when I have too much caffeine during the day. I have highs, and I come up with gems like vas deferens. And now I and failing. So we're going to try and get through this quiz. So I have 4 questions, 2 from my head and 2 from our wonderful Patreons, Dylan the Villain and Michael Towns. Each question has 4 multiple choice answers. As I'm reading out the question, if Floppy knows it or if Anto knows it, they can call out their name and answer. At the moment, Floppy and Anto are both tied up on 10, with
That's right.
Jazz and Braden both tied up on 2 apiece.
Toad up.
Toad up. All right, here we go. The first question is from Michael Towns, beautiful Michael Towns from Game Boy Games.
Townsy always has the weirdest ones.
Yep, and the longest ones, which is why I have to rewrite the questions. But here we go. What year was the first video game to include the F word released? And bonus point if you can name the game. Okay, so I need the year as the primary one, but you get a bonus one if you get the name.
Is there...
Hang
have
on.
we got multiple choice still?
Yeah.
Okay.
Calm down. Jeez, far out. A, 2002. B, 1995. C, 1999. Or D, 1990, Floppy and Anto. Which one is it?
Anto.
Anto?
I'm going to guess 95.
Correct.
I was going to go 95 or 99.
And can you name the game?
I'm going to take a really dumb stab and say the original Grand Theft Auto?
No, the Orion Conspiracy.
Never heard of it.
No, never heard of it.
Oh, we can pick it up over in Cash Converters in Mobbery for $100 at the moment.
And it dropped the F-bomb.
Yep, intentionally as well. There you go.
There you go.
Question 2. In the Legend of Zelda series, what is the name of one of Mr. Tingle's brothers? Or Tingle's brothers? Is it A, Miles Prowler, B, Knuckle, C, Mr. Ouija,
Floppy.
Floppy?
Knuckle?
Yes! How did you know that?
I don't. The other two sounded dumb.
Well,
and
there was
if
still
I leave it, Anto's going to get it.
There was still a fourth option.
Yeah, but I... Behind.
Yeah, okay, good point. So,
Okay. I sweat a little bit now.
you're both tied up at 11 apiece again.
I figure if I hear the third one and it sounds dumb, it's going to be number 2.
Okay, question number 3. This
That's
is
not my rule for every question.
We're really nailing the whole wrong answer, correct answer, wrong answer, fake answer.
Anto, you
thing.
shut the fuck up. Okay, question number 3 is from Dylan the Villain. Which ghost in Pac-Man is programmed to aim for 2 spaces ahead of Pac-Man in an attempt to ambush the player? Is it Inky, Blinky, Pinky, or Clyde?
Anto.
Anto?
Blinky.
Incorrect.
Ooh.
Floppy. Inky, Pinky, or Clyde?
Are the names anything to do with colours? With their colours?
Kind of. So,
I didn't realise we were allowed to ask questions.
No, I was clarifying, I guess. I don't know. Okay, don't answer it. What were the names?
Inky, Pinky, or Clyde?
Pinky?
Correct.
Hey!
Guess which colour Pinky is?
Is it pink?
Yep.
Yeah, nice.
So Floppy's on 12, Anto's on 11.
Woo! And through no skill whatsoever, I asked it.
Okay, here we go. I will be very surprised if you get this.
Me,
Okay?
personally, or anyone?
Both of you. I've thought very long and hard about this question. This is a Ben trivia question.
Kojima.
His name's in here.
Of course it is.
Okay, here we go. What was the name of the English translator for the first few Pokemon games? Was it A, Satoru Iwata, B, Nob Ogasawa, C, Hideo Kojima, or D, Tatsuya Naka?
Floppy.
Floppy?
D.
Tatsuya Naka?
Sure.
No, he's a 7th Dan black belt in the Japan Karate Association. Incorrect.
Did he also English translate that?
No.
Okay.
I
Okay.
didn't hear the second one clearly. Can you repeat that one for me?
Nob Agasawara.
I'm just going to take a stab and say it was A.
Satoru Iwata?
Maybe?
So the now deceased president of Nintendo?
I don't know. He ported gold and silver and
It's
stuff.
B, isn't it?
It's B. Nob
Yeah.
Ogasawa. Yep. Yeah.
I've got Iwata's the book on my nightstand. So.
So now we get to point there. So at the end of that session of Quiz on Your Face, Brayden and Jasmine still on 2 apiece because they're not on the show. Anto's on 11 and Floppy's got the lead back on 12.
Yes. I was getting worried because I can't lose all of Braydan versus the world to you and Quiz on Your Face. That's my jam.
You didn't lose all of Braydan versus the world.
I lost so much
And
of
you were
it to
really good at quizzing on people's faces. I've seen the movies.
It's true. I'll release them to you. Go to hackthedino.com.
You have to find the special link.
Yeah, you know how you used to go around DVD menus and it would like highlight just something that you didn't realise was a menu item?
Now you just have to sit on the web page until it goes into standby mode, and instead of a DVD symbol, it's just your cock and balls.
We were so close to finishing the show without anything that bad on.
And then when it hits the middle, it goes,
I'm just assuming we're doing pluggables now.
We've been Hack the Dino. This has been our gaming cast, where we bring you the past, present, and future of video games, giving you news, previews, and discussions on the gaming world. But this isn't all we do. Floppy, this is about the time when people switch off. So can you say something interesting to keep them hanging on?
I have Instagram where I throw photos of stuff on it.
Cock and balls?
Sometimes.
Cool.
If you're lucky.
And by that I mean roosters and tennis balls.
Basketballs.
Well, okay, calm down.
Oh, it's the playoffs.
Talking yourself up.
It's playoffs, mate.
That
would be incredibly bad and lots of issues.
Actually, yeah, you probably got a tumour or something in there.
I put some new stuff up on my Instagram for the first time in
pus.
weeks. Oh my god! Did you see my pickup from the other week? From the weekend?
Is that how you got the pus?
Yeah. I picked up the Overkill. Oh my god! House of the Dead Overkill on the Wii, the collector's edition with the graphic novel and the two guns. It's awesome.
Yeah, named the Bang Bang Box.
The Bang Bang Box.
That game's underrated. Like, it is
so much fun.
B-grade video game.
Yeah.
Based on a B-grade movie. Like, in one of the cutscenes, you're talking to a detective and they don't believe you and they're wearing glasses and they take their glasses off and go, oh, blah, 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 and it cuts back to you as the character. And then when it cuts back to him, his glasses are back on. It's great.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
And I got, it's cool because there's a remake coming out on the Switch for this.
Yeah, you were saying it was out digitally already?
I think so. I might be wrong. That might be a demo.
Yeah, cool. Anto, what do you do?
I do social media stuff for Hack the Dino. So anytime you see, well, not anytime, Ben's been picking up the slack since I've been coming off of overnights and dying lack of sleep. Most of the time, any of the socials you see on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, etc., are from me. We try and put out as much stuff as we can that's newsworthy as often as we can. But I also occasionally do streams at random times, like 5 a.m., where I'm testing if Final Fantasy XIV is a good stream to do.
Didn't Townsy jump in on one of those?
Yeah, Townsy and Game Boy Dad.
What are you guys doing up at 5 a.m. watching streams, you weirdos?
Yeah, like, at least pay me money to do it. Jeez. But yeah, I'm also on Instagram. Mine, I can't, for some reason, pull up on screen because it always says, hey, you need to log in to view this one, which is fine. But I'm on there under Hey It's Anto. I occasionally put up video game stuff as well as just general things that I find. Yeah, what do you do, Ben?
I put up my stuff as an insurance record on at Mr. Benjamin on Instagram. And also, I also do Bad Game Arts, but I haven't done any in the past 2 weeks because I forgot. So head on over to Bad Game Arts and tell me I'm a bad person for not updating my Bad Game Arts. I've found heaps. Like, just going through my phone, so many. There's one called, I'll put this up maybe tomorrow, but there's one called, it's got like an alien xenomorph on the cover. But it's called Xenophobes. It's like, yeah, probably not what you want to call your game.
Someone didn't get the dictionary out.
It's called Xenophobes, and there's an alien on the cover. Come on.
Is that the one with the blue Sunsoft banner?
I'm not sure. It's in my. I'll put it up. It'll go. Remind me tomorrow. Yeah, it's kind of like that, but
that
different.
One? Okay.
But yeah, it's bad. It's bad. It's full of art, and those two things meet the criteria of bad game arts. Remember, it's got an S because bad game art was already taken.
It's got a man.
But we've been Hack the Dino. We have been so happy that you've been here. I promise next show I won't drink all the caffeine. And we'll be back to some kind of relatively PG-13 safe normal. Floppy, is there any products you'd like to plug?
I'd love to plug